Well, good morning, everybody, and good to be on with you on this wonderful day on this Friday. It is May 10th, on the second Friday here in May. We are coming up on Mother's Day weekend and excited about that. And so let's do this. Let's hit that share button. If you're just now jumping on, hit that share button real quick so that everybody knows that we are live and ready to go. Once again, good morning to you and welcome to our Power Up on this fine Friday. Fine Friday, that's good, and excited about it. Let's also, let me just say, we were not on for a Power Up yesterday. For that, I apologize, but we are here today live and ready to go. Also, let me give you kind of a brief synopsis, if you will, of the events of the week. We had a wonderful conference, our Faith, Family, and Culture Conference. I want to thank those that were able to make it out. If you were not able to make it out, be sure and check our Facebook page, YouTube page, or Rumble page, and you'll be able to rewatch those services. They'll be an encouragement to you. They'll be convicting in their message, but I'm telling you, there were some powerful messages, and I hope you're able to make it to the services. If not, be sure and check out the recorded versions of it on those platforms that I've already mentioned. And it was powerful. I mean, I think God was spoke to hearts, and so they're there for you to listen to and follow along with. Okay. Now we're going to be in Daniel chapter number 8. Would encourage you to join me there, Daniel chapter number 8. And once again, as I've already said, hit that share button so that everybody knows that we are on and ready to go on this fine Friday. Mother's Day weekend, as we said, our ladies have their ladies luncheon. All ladies, girls, teenagers, young girls as well are invited to come be a part of that. And it'll be a wonderful time of fellowship there for our ladies. And then on Sunday, we'll be celebrating our mothers and recognizing them. So thankful for moms. And every mom in attendance will receive a gift. So let's make sure that you have your mom here, or moms. Make sure that your families are here. And everybody will receive a gift. Excited about that. All right, here we go. Daniel chapter number 8, another chapter, another vision for Daniel. And so we're going to look at what that vision is today. Monday, we'll probably get a little bit more into the interpretation thereof as we see that recorded at the back end of Daniel chapter number 8. As we see that vision interpreted for him, okay? So let's look, once again, verse number 1, Daniel chapter 8, and verse number 1. In the third year of the vision of King Belshazzar, a vision appeared unto me, even unto Daniel, after that which appeared unto me at the first. And so we've got Daniel, once again, this isn't necessarily written in chronological order, the book of Daniel. And so we have Daniel going back and telling about this vision. We note in chapter number 7, vision he has in verse number 1 of Daniel chapter number 7, in the first year of Belshazzar. Now we are a couple years later in the third year of King Belshazzar. He has another vision. And let's look and see what this vision is. We'll make just a couple comments today, and then we'll get into this more specifically on Monday. Here we go, verse number 2. I saw in a vision, it came to pass when I saw that, I was at Shushan in the palace. And so he's not in Babylon at the time. There's another palace in Shushan, which would be east of Babylon, several hundred miles is what we read and what we're told, several hundred miles from Babylon, where Daniel is ruling. Once again, remember Daniel being one of the premier rulers or servants of the king, and so the king entrusted him greatly, and so Daniel is over in Shushan, and he's in charge over there. And here he has this vision. It says here, when I saw, right in the middle of verse number 2, when I saw that I was at Shushan in the palace, which is in the province of Elam, and I saw in a vision, and I was by the river of Ulai. Verse number 3, then I lifted up mine eyes, and I saw, behold, there stood before the river a ram which had two horns. And the two horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last. And so it's believed that this ram with two horns would represent the Medo-Persian Empire, and that's two kingdoms, two kingdoms being represented there by this ram with two horns. Verse number 4, look at what happens. And I saw the ram pushing westward and northward and southward so that no beast might stand before him. Neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand. But he did according to his will and became great. And as I was considering, behold, a he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth and touched not the ground, and the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. And so the Medo-Persian Empire, we see that represented by the ram. Now we have this goat that has a single horn in the middle of its head and touched the ground. He did not touch the ground, it says here, and he's coming up. And this goat is representing the rule of Alexander the Great, and with tremendous speed and power, he conquered the known world at the time. We see in verse number 6, and he came to the ram that had two horns, which I had seen standing before the river, and ran unto him in the fury of his power. Okay, and so he's running towards this ram, and I saw him come closer to the ram, and he was moved with choler, anger, rage, strength against him, and smote the ram, and brake his two horns, and there was no power in the ram to stand before him. And so Alexander the Great has victory over the Medo-Persian Empire, the Rams here. But he cast him down to the ground and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand. And so the ram ruled there, and nobody could defeat the ram, which seems to indicate Alexander the Great. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great. Verse number 8. And when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up four notable ones before the four winds of heaven. And so we know the end of Alexander the Great. And these Alexander the Great's four generals assume power in different regions. They rule over the earth, and you can go back and check your history on this. We have the four generals there assuming power for Alexander the Great. Verse number 9. And out of one of them came forth a little horn which waxed exceeding great toward the south and toward the east and toward the pleasant land. And this little horn, this ruler that surpasses these generals here, his name is, history tells us that his name is Antiochus the Fourth. And Antiochus here, what he does really lets the world know who he is, okay? And we're going to see what he does, and we'll look at the interpretation on Monday, but let's look at it just kind of briefly here, look at the remainder of this vision. And it waxed great. This little horn waxed great. So Antiochus the Fourth here becomes a tremendous ruler, even to the host of heaven. And it cast down some of the host, and of the stars of the ground, and stamped upon them. Yea, he magnified himself, even to the prince of the host, and by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the place of his sanctuary was cast down. And a host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression, and it cast down the truth to the ground, and it practiced and prospered. Then I heard one saint speaking, and another saint said unto him, that certain saint which spake, How long shall be the vision concerning the daily sacrifice and the transgression of the desolation, to give both the sanctuary and the host to be trodden under foot? And so we've got Antiochus the Fourth. He is waging war against Israel, and he goes against Israel. He desecrates the temple, offers an inappropriate sacrifice on the altar there, and as he conquers Syria, he rules Israel, and kills many Jews, and enters the temple. All of that. We'll look at that a little bit more specifically next time together. And then the question is asked, how long is this going to happen? And we see that it says, verse number 14, and he said unto me, unto 2,300 days, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed. Okay, and so we see 2,300 days. There are some that believe these are the number of days, so 2,300 days. There are some that think that this refers to the sacrifices, and they would offer two sacrifices a day, one in the morning, one in the evening, and so that some would say that this was then 1,150 days rather than the 2,300 days. And we'll look at that a little bit more next time, our next time together. Okay, and so as we consider this, we see what is predicted, the evilness of Antiochus the Fourth coming in here in we see verse number 10. We see what he does here in regards to the temple, and he offered what he did is he offered a pig on the altar outside the temple, and for the Jews, obviously knowing that pigs being unclean, and this was very, very offensive and very wrong to Jewish law, the temple law, and so on. And so this is where we will find, as we consider the scriptures, and really the Maccabees, they rebel against Antiochus the Fourth. There's some books, they're not in the Bible. They were not accepted in the canon of Scripture. But the Maccabees, the book of Maccabees, and so on. So the Maccabees revolt against Antiochus the Fourth, and they fight back after all of this, and whether it's 6 years because it's 2,300 days, or whether it's 3 years, that's 1,150 days. That's up for some debate. But we also note that after their victory, we note that the holiday Hanukkah is instituted. Okay, and as the eight-day holiday of Hanukkah is instituted, which reminds people of the day, and all of that. It reminds them of the rebellion, reminds them of the wickedness of Antiochus the Fourth. Okay, now we'll get into the interpretation. I shared a little bit about the fulfillment of some of that, and shared just a little bit of who represents who there. We'll get more into the interpretation of it on Monday, okay? And so thank you so much for being on today. I know I was probably a little bit all over the place there, but just trying to help you out, gain some understanding of the scriptures here, and what is going on here in this vision. And hopefully it was enlightening for you. Okay, we'll end with that once again. Thank you so much for being on. If you have not already done so, hit that share button really quick, and let's comment and welcome those who are on live here as well. Ingrid, good morning to you. Love you and have a great day. Cliff and Karen, good morning to you both. Hope that you guys are well. Good to have you on this morning. Brian and Cindy, good morning to you both as well. Have a wonderful day. David and Claudia, good morning to you guys. Thank you so much for being on. Have an awesome day. And Luke, good morning to you. Have a great weekend as well. And happy Mother's Day to all of our moms that are watching. And hopefully you have a wonderful celebration and of motherhood. And listen, Mother's Day is it's a good day. So it's hard for many people. It's hard for people because some people's their moms have passed away, and their moms are no longer on this earth. And so it can be a difficult day as we remember mom. It can also be difficult because you know what? Let's just be honest, okay? Some moms are losers, okay? And let's just be honest with that. Some moms did not meet the call that God placed upon their life to be the mom that they should be, and so it can be a difficult day as well. But there's some tremendous truth from Scripture that we can learn about moms and the role of moms and our response to the truth of Scripture. And so we're going to look at that this coming Sunday, and hope that you'll be in church for that. All moms in attendance will receive a gift as well. All right, Lord bless you all. Have a great day. We'll touch base again on Monday for our Power Up. Be sure and be in services if you can make it this coming Sunday. Have a great day, everybody.